Yo, what's happening? Welcome to another episode of the JoeZONE podcast. Today I have with me, we all in on one of the best South African skateboarder, if not now, ever, and also international skateboarder, Jean-marc Johannes.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening, buddy. How's it going?
I'm good, thank you, and yourself?
I'm lekker. We had a chat before this, and you gave me so much information, and we hope we can give some of that information to the audience here tonight.
Yes.
But I like to start it off in the beginning. You started skateboarding when you were 11.
Yes.
You got your mom's skateboard or something like that. Your mom and your dad's skateboard, huh?
That's correct. Yes. No, it was. I saw it when I was 10 years old, and I really, watched it for some time, and watched kids do it, and really only kind of built up the courage to ask one of the kids, hey, can I try your board or something?
Okay.
When I was 11, and I got into it immediately, and I just thought, wow, this is something I want to do.
You gravitated to it off
immediately.
So did you play soccer, or you good at other sports as well, or what?
I tried it all,
but you weren't good at it.
I couldn't. I tried everything. At the time, I was obviously recovering, a lot, being back and forth in hospitals.
Why were you in hospital?
I was born chronic asthmatic.
Okay.
And it was tough, really, really tough. A lot of, nights spent in hospitals, back and forth, made it very difficult to, number one, try to do sport.
Yeah.
And number two, obviously, through all of that, you also lose a little bit of, I would say, confidence. There's a lot of other things that happen. So when I saw skateboarding, it looked very different, and when I got into skateboarding, it felt different as opposed to everything else. It just felt, it gave me this limitless feeling that I never thought, and didn't know I was looking for that. I didn't know it all. So
it's quite weird that you say something that you spent a lot of time in the hospital. Like one of the other guests that we had on Eugene or Plasnar, also known as Plas, he also spent a lot of time in the hospital while he was young. Okay. And you always hear the stories about like when kids grow up in the hospital, like, and then later on in their life, I don't know, because of that, they want to excel so much.
Yes.
Are you familiar with that story?
Definitely. I think it's, if I think back, to that time, and just from my experience, what I felt, what I was feeling, I was in a place where I was, as a person, almost giving up, almost just giving in to what life is
as a
now.
kid, when you were a kid.
Yeah.
At what age was that, like?
Between, I would say, from what my recollection would probably be like, from 6 years old to when it became a very serious.
Yeah.
6 to 9 years old.
Yeah.
And 10 years old, 11 years old. It was.
So you felt like almost like helpless.
It just felt like this was it. This was just life. For me, this is how it was going to be, because it just was like that for so long, and you don't know anything else. You don't feel. You try other things, but you don't know. Maybe this weekend you're gonna be back there or whatever. You don't know when it's gonna happen again. So definitely that was a stage where I just felt I was kind of just giving into whatever life was at that time.
And you later became healthier as you grew older and stuff like that. But you still felt, would you still have asthma attacks as you get?
Definitely. I felt it, through high school. I felt it, there was so many times. But I think that I was starting to manage, because there came a time where all the equipment could come home with me.
Okay.
And I didn't have to stay over at hospital. I could actually, come home from wherever, and then come home from school, and I could be on the equipment at home.
Okay.
And it was different. It was, I did prefer, being at home.
Yeah. Who wants to stay overnight in the hospital, especially as a kid?
Exactly.
It's helpless feeling.
Definitely.
So tell me, when you started doing, when you started skateboarding, that was 11, right? And like 11, 12, 13, was that level of being active, helping the asthma or hindering it?
It was helping it because I could do it at my own pace.
Okay.
That was the difference.
So if you felt like exhausted, you just take it easy.
Yeah, I could stop, and it was, I could do things in the comfort of my own home as well. You know, I was in the backyard by myself for the longest time, and that helped me get through things. I would try something, leave it for a bit, come back later, try something.
Yeah. Always, if we were playing a team sport, you sort of had to be there all the time, and it's not as easy to achieve that when you were when it's a single sport. It's a little bit easier,
definitely,
to manage.
And I could discover myself better as well in that time by doing that. I think the one thing that, if I can think back, that was difficult was not just trying to find myself in what I'm doing right now, or just explore this skateboarding, what I just found.
Yeah.
But there's also there's the mental aspect. In the household, when I was coming home, I was seeing trophies, and my entire family are athletes, and then there's me.
A sick kid.
That believed that everything, all these trophies, all these things, is just probably not where what you're gonna be doing.
Tell me about those trophies. Your mom was an athlete. Was your mom an athlete?
Yes. So
what did
South
she do?
African champion ballroom dancing.
Sure.
And
your dad?
My dad, I see, he used to play soccer here and there, and then he's also a popular jazz musician as well, the Philadelphia Rhythms.
Okay. Cool.
So music was in the family as well for some time.
Talented individuals. And tell me about your granddad. You said on one of our podcasts or somewhere that he's a boxer.
Yes, boxer.
Was he a professional boxer?
Yes, he was. Him and his brother. So they had their own club. It was, they did well for themselves. And obviously, again, this is just, there was a family of athletes, and I couldn't do any of these sports, or I couldn't do anything. Even though I tried, my sister at school was running track. She was super athletic, and obviously me in school, I just couldn't make a single team. So
that mental aspect affected you.
Definitely. So I think how it affected was, I didn't know if I maybe had some of the athletic DNA in me at all, because I definitely wasn't bringing home any trophies or anything like that. So I believed for a long time, okay, well, maybe that's not for me. Maybe I'm just, I'm the 1% out of the family,
like the black sheep,
but then when I think about it now, maybe the skateboard that my mother put away wasn't meant to be found yet. That's what I think about.
Do you believe in fate and stuff like that? Destiny?
I do now. I wasn't very, superstitious or anything like that, but there's been just too many things that,
like that
if I think
skateboard
back now and think of, when she stopped skateboarding, why wasn't that board put away or thrown away or something
given
like
away
that?
or sold?
It carried on and just ended up in the house and moved around until the one person in the family that was not meant to be in any way athletic was supposed to find that and go a different way as opposed to what has been done in the family, And
it's crazy, you become the most popular athlete out of them all.
I really didn't think that anything like this was going to happen, But now when I think about it, I mean, all the the circles that everybody knows, with the skateboarders that everybody, how they know each other and how they know my family and things like that. And they'll ask, do you know this one? How's this one doing? it actually comes full circle again. You know, from me knowing everybody in the family and who knows who, and then knowing that there was this outside circle, you know, everyone that was involved in hip hop or some way in the culture,
the broader.
Definitely, that there was this other side that I thought it was just, you know, this way, and there was nothing else. And then when I found skateboarding, like I said, it gave me this limitless feeling. I can't explain it in words, but it almost felt like there was some kind of fire burning.
When you obviously first picked up that skateboard, first I want to talk about that skateboard before I talk about you picking up the skateboard. I think in objects there can be energy.
Yes.
Right? Like I firmly believe in this walls of the studio. We've done so much good podcast and so much good vibes in here, that these good vibes in the walls. And maybe there was one time where somebody threw the headphones at this bad. But besides that, it was like a lot of good vibes in here, right? So I believe there's a good energy in here. And maybe in that skateboard there was like it's an object, but can it hold energy or positivity or something? I don't know, you know what I mean?
Definitely, I believe that. I believe that, you know, when the skateboard was used, I think, you know, whenever you're in an environment of skateboarders, you know, at a skate spot or the skate park, whatever, there's this level of, there's just this energy that you can't explain. And that board was used in that type of energy, you know, in that situation in some way or other, and then it was put away. And you know,
a skateboard is actually energy if you think about it, because it's a moving thing.
Anything that moves, definitely.
it's
energy in motion.
Energy in motion. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, crazy.
I believe
it comes
that.
Full circle again.
Exactly. Yeah, I believe that. I believe that. And then obviously, you know, that I felt that energy when I picked it up. I felt you know, what skateboarding is about when I got on that board and just, you know, okay, the first push down the road, and I just felt something that.
My question is, when you picked up that board, were you good off the bat? Like, were you just good, like doing an ollie like first time or something like that?
I actually.
Did you try and continuously try in the backyard until you got better?
So that's exactly what you mentioned there is the try part. So what skateboarding gave me, I think you know, everybody has it, and you find a platform or something that brings the best out of you. And skateboarding taught me a lesson. So when I found skateboarding, I didn't know what was what. I didn't know what an ollie was. I didn't know what a kickflip was, or to be completely honest, I didn't really care. I was just on a board and I was just enjoying myself, and I didn't know what tricks names were. The only thing that I was feeling and what I was enjoying was this feeling of getting back up again. I was feeling strength for the first time. Internally, I was feeling strength for the first time.
Confidence.
Yes.
That confidence building
and
back. Like I understand.
There was nowhere else I was finding this. Every day I came home, this was the only place I could go to where I would find this. The only thing that was bringing that out of me, and I kept going back. And
the more you invested, the more it kept giving back to you. So
definitely. So the more I was trying new things and doing this and doing that, it hurt, definitely. But I kept coming back. I kept getting back up. And I wasn't doing that a couple of months ago.
And you keep getting better.
And I kept getting better as a person, as a skateboarder. I kept coming back. And it wasn't so much to, let's say, land a kickflip in the first 3 days. If I landed it in the first 3 days, perfect. But it was to come back to what skateboarding was giving me. It was giving me this resilience. It was giving me this smile, this confidence that I couldn't find anywhere else.
It's crazy that you said that. It's like, and analogy that it has, like you fall down and you get back up again. Literally, so it's for life, like, right? You keep falling. It's not how many times you fall; it's how many times you get back up. Right?
Exactly. And the one thing that what I can say is that as much as it hurt to fall off the board, nothing was more painful than the months before I found skateboarding. That's for sure. So what I was feeling now wasn't pain. Actually, it was it was the complete opposite. It was enjoyment to learn something, to feel this limitless feeling that I've never thought I'd feel.
Yeah, it's crazy to talk about that. It's like I think a lot about myself also as a young boy, and I was also quite skinny and like insecure about myself. And I think about like the fact that like I almost like had this anxiety. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This constant anxiety because I was scared of the world and what it's going to do to me. You know what I mean? Are you familiar with the feeling?
Definitely.
And it sounds like up until you got, and when you got that skateboard, almost like that anxiety was released. Like,
definitely.
You know what I mean? It's
for
crazy.
Sure. No, definitely. I mean, that's exactly what I was feeling. I mean, I feel it every single time I get onto the board. You just get into your own world. And that's just the best. It's just you on the board, and that's it.
Well, it was World Mental Health Day. One of these days.
Yes.
Do you feel that obviously it sounds like when you get onto the skateboard, it helps for your mental health? It's like a release, a relax,
always has
a turn off, a release from that anxiety of the world, the pressure of the world, and the scariness of
definitely
what is around you.
Definitely. I mean, it always has. Not just now, but even in school when things were difficult. When I was facing, being outcasted or bullying for the first time, I was facing all these things. The only place I went back to was skateboarding, to kind of forget all those things. And I know when I'm going to get on my board, it's going to be complete opposite. It's going to be positive. It's going to be, I'm going to be in my own space, my own mind. I can, just express who I am and, just be me, really. So, and yeah, it definitely helps.
How did you get to one of your first big comps? Like, did you just win your way? when did you know, like, yo, this is legit something that I can go for?
I think on my first contest, and in a small way I felt it, because we were going to not competitions, we were going to skate parks for the first time, me and friends from school, and I didn't know what competition skateboarding was at all.
But you knew you were the best out of your friends.
We didn't actually think of it like that actually in the beginning, because we were all still new to it, and we were all learning tricks, and we were just kind of like hyping each other on, learning that, okay, then I'll tell my friend at school, okay, I learned kickflip, and he's like, okay, I learned heel flip today, so we'll just kind of back and forth like that. So we didn't actually know that.
So you were humble from the start. Okay, you're always humble.
So what happened was we would go to skate parks, and there was one in Claremont, a stadium on Main. There was a skate park on top of it.
I remember that.
And this was I would go with my friends when we could, because it was pretty far, to travel and things like that. And so there was a competition at that skate park. We knew like a lot of the big names were going to be there, and we're going to go there and we're going to watch, all these guys compete. It was an open contest, like a Pro-Am open. But what that means is you obviously compete with everybody. So it's just one category,
Yeah.
And you get your qualifications. And
so there's no age group?
Not for that contest.
Okay.
It was like a Pro-Am thing that they had. And I didn't want to enter the contest. I didn't know what I was going to do at all. I just wanted to come in and just watch some of the guys that I've been watching, And one of my friends decided to put my name down on the thing as a joke. And I said, no, I'm not going to skate the contest. I don't know, how do you skate the contest, They called my name and I just laughed because it was funny. And I just thought, let's go along with it, it's just a joke. And then I remember dropping in and vaguely remember what I did. I was just doing tricks everywhere. And then when I was done, it was done. And they told me at the end of the contest, you won the contest. I was 11 years old. I didn't know what that meant. They gave me what it meant to me at the time. I got a free skateboard.
Yo, that is cool.
And I didn't have to ask for one for my birthday or Christmas. I didn't have to wait that long. So I got the free board, and that was actually the first time I got a sponsorship. There was a shop sponsor, and then there was some guys coming to the house because I wasn't old enough to sign a contract. And a lot of this stuff was happening really, really fast. And I started to realize, okay, maybe I should try compete more, because things were expensive, and boards and shoes and things like that. So I thought, okay, I'm going to try to get to as many as I can, because then I can get another board, I can get shoes, if I somewhere or other, and I can just keep skating. That's it. What I really wanted to do. So I kept going to contests and seeing where I could win a board or shoes, or there was sometimes it was prize money, but I started to realize that this was something that I was getting into, that I was handling competitions better than I thought I would handle it. I built up this idea that it's so much pressure and people are watching and all these things, and when I was in contests, it was calming. I was very calm in approaching things, and I think that definitely helped going into competitions, because now when I think about it, the bigger the competitions get, yes, everybody is good in the competition, but it's pressure that you really have to compete against.
Yeah.
When I think about it, it's like 95% pressure, and it's up here.
Big match temperament.
Definitely. And funny enough, I've been hearing BMT more often now, and I never really knew what it meant until very recently. And then I start to realize, maybe in some way or other, maybe that's anything that I could have taken from my family. Maybe there was that. Being calm in competitions.
Yeah, it's also about how your heart beats slower, isn't it?
Yes.
It's got to do with something about the beats per minute, like your heart beats. There's a few athletes that have it like, so in extremely, other people will be like, your heart will elevate, your heart will not elevate, apparently. Something like that, no?
So it's what's something interesting was that I learned a lot of breathing exercises to cope with.
We need to learn those breathing exercises.
Very young. I learned it when I was younger, and then when I started to train outside of skateboarding, just for myself, just to get healthy again. I worked with a lot of trainers and things like that, and they taught me different exercises. So there were so many different exercises to
You're familiar with Wim Hof? Wim Hof.
No.
Wim Hof.
Wim Hof. Yes.
Wim Hof.
Yes.
Why is I Wim? Wim Hof.
Okay.
He's also the breathing guy,
Yes.
the cold and that stuff.
Yeah.
Like that. So what I'm imagining is like these breathing exercises are similar to, it's like you take in more oxygen and you release less oxygen, so to over oxygen, something
Yes.
like that. Putting more oxygen inside your body or something like that.
Yes. So there was ways. I mean, you it's all trial and error. It really is all trial and error. I mean, you find
everybody's body's different.
Exactly, and I had to find out what works for me also. Over time, obviously, like anything else. So there were certain things that I found that worked, and it's definitely helped. Over time, you see the benefits of things, like something like that,
Like breathing exercises.
It's not a overnight thing, or it's not gonna.
So you developed this over years?
Over years, yes. I mean, just to...
And it has almost become like part of your...
Yeah, it has definitely become part of me. I mean, I don't forget to do it before, a week before, 2 weeks before, to start getting my body and mind into a certain level. But I think it definitely has helped play a big part, even from a young age, definitely.
So I suffer from cramp. Like I cramp up severely. I used to do. I used to cycle a lot, and I cramp up severely.
Okay.
And there was this one year, right, where I took a lot of supplements that put a lot of oxygen inside my body, and that year I did extremely well.
Okay.
And I didn't cramp up at all.
Okay.
But anyway, it's just something that I know about, because I'm a shitty athlete and I can be a good athlete as well. You know what I mean?
Yes.
If you don't train or don't do certain things and you don't put the certain supplements in your body, there's certain things that will happen, the cramping, and you will not be able to finish. And then if you put in all the right stuff, put in the good petrol,
yes,
you will obviously, you talking about this on a totally different level to what where I am, but I understand the concepts of it,
and
what you're talking about.
That's also important, because I had to, and I had to be very disciplined at a young age, because I realized that I couldn't, do what I wanted to and live how I wanted to.
So you couldn't do the bad stuff you couldn't neglect your body the way that maybe I do sometimes, because that would put you at a very bad deficit.
Definitely.
Like alcohol, smoking, all those
things
type of
like this. It's things you get into. You have to realize how it's gonna affect you, and obviously when you're younger, you get into things. You're just enjoying life. But I actually started training like many years ago when I was much younger. I just wanted to be just healthier, just as a person. And it's just like a choice I've made.
So what does your training entail? Because you're not gonna, I don't imagine you pushing weights or anything like that.
Not as much.
Up doing bench press and like
not as much
squatting here. Because what I would imagine is if you picked up weight, that it would affect your balance and stuff like that.
Definitely,
a lot.
Definitely. So I actually started at the Sports Science Institute. So we trained there for a year and a half, I would say. I was working with the trainer there, and that basically just built my foundation. Just because I wasn't.
What is your foundation? Balance or?
So it's core. Mainly core. Everything.
Okay.
Yeah, and obviously endurance.
Endurance as well.
So endurance as well. So
you don't get tired when you do it. So you can execute perfect at the end as you do in the beginning.
Definitely. So, and obviously, with that comes the pressure. So I mean, you have to. What I wanted to do was be as fit as possible. Not just when it counts, but also in training. If I can only train for 20 minutes, what am I going to get out of that? Or I can only skate for like 30 minutes, and then
So how long does your skate sessions go on for? Like
it's
training session
going for very, very long. So now it's a bit different. I'll always go for a session with my friends, whatever. But if I'm skating like for a competition or something, then I'll say, for example, I'll go skate for 4 hours or 3 to 4 hours just on one, and dedicated to
skating.
To what the goal is. If it's the trick that I'm trying to learn or anything like that, then that is 3 hours, 4 hours is gonna go into that.
And you mentioned you also work with a trainer. So on that day, do you also work with a trainer? So in the morning you work with a trainer, and then afterwards, how does it work?
So in the mornings I'll be with a trainer. It will be maybe 6 a.m. It'll work for maybe about an hour or so.
Just core.
So it'll be a lot of different stuff. It will be core. It will be endurance.
Okay,
there will be some strength training, definitely, because just to keep the balance. What I did find before, that I could keep up with the time. I could keep up with getting around the park for the contest, but I just found I didn't have like the strength I was looking for when I'm jumping down stairs and things like that.
Power.
So the power behind it, and to skate bigger stuff.
Okay.
Now I can feel it. I'm jumping down much bigger stuff than I was jumping down. Only because I have that. I can feel that strength behind me to like get up and do it 10 times over, jump down, like 10 stairs, whatever. Especially in contests, the obstacles are bigger than ever. So, if you practicing and you're jumping down, then you have to compete. Your body still needs to be the exact same.
Yeah, I understand.
Your legs still have to have the same strength, or try to have the same strength you had. So this is a lot of things that I was, looking at and just wanting to work on.
Yeah, so it's a lot of obviously core and legs. You pumping up your legs. I don't imagine you going getting all beef down there. Like so.
I don't think so.
So do you also have to then maintain, watch what you eat, like?
Yes, definitely. And that's been I would actually say that's the hardest part.
Because you have to maintain a certain weight for constantly. You can't become heavier or lighter because then it's going to affect your move, I'm guessing.
And also I think it's just not getting into bad habits like that, you know? Just being disciplined to, what you're eating, when you're skating or you're training is actually going to benefit you and it's actually going to do good for you than the opposite, maybe not just the day you're doing it, but the day before, the week before. I always go leading up to if I'm training, like tomorrow I'm training, I will drink more water throughout that week just to stay completely hydrated as best as possible just for that hour, and not just drink water when I'm doing the training.
Yeah, I should. The discipline, I don't have that discipline. I really should, because that's just a part of cramping, not getting enough, being hydrated enough.
Exactly.
I should be more disciplined.
I think
is it easy to be disciplined, a disciplined athlete, eat when you must, take your drink water when you must and stuff like that? Or?
It's not difficult if you know why you're doing it. And
stay focused.
Stay focused. I think that's the key, element of it, is to be focused at all times as to, why you're going to do this.
Yeah, your goal.
And what the goal is. It's so easy to just get, sidetracked and go like, oh, it's okay, I'll just, get takeout or whatever. And then, takeout on Monday turns to takeout on Tuesday and Wednesday. So I think for me, it's just come from also trial and error, learning the hard way, learning from, what's not going to benefit me.
Yeah, going down the wrong path.
In my mind, it's fine, I'll just do what I do on the day and everything will be fine. And then everything is not fine because I chose not to prepare for it or be ready for it. So, it's just...
Do you have to train or exercise or do anything to reduce injury? Because I imagine you fall in all the time. Like, is there... I know you're doing probably break falls or something like that. Or is there any other type of... something you're doing to reduce injury?
Stretching and recovery, definitely.
Stretching
and recovery. And it's so... I would say it's so like cliche to say,
stretching,
stretch. And
always important.
If it's not for stretching, I personally, and out of experience, if it was not for stretching before and recovering after, there were so many times where I know for sure that I should have came off short, in certain falls, but because of maybe
you stretched before,
I was either
you were limber.
I was a little bit more, just flexible in that inch of a second or whatever. I can definitely say there were times. And it's because of just stretching, something simple. And even just, a lot of the skaters see me with a foam roller. I don't travel anywhere without this foam roller. So for your legs,
I should eat the foam roller more.
Before and after. It's
before and after.
Before and after, definitely. So
what does it do for it after the muscles? Just like
it's so I call it heavy legs. So you don't build up that heavy legs when you're jumping downstairs. You get this. Yeah, you'll get what we call heavy legs. You'll feel it in your lower back also sometimes.
I get the lower back.
So doing that after just doesn't build up that tension, that inflammation. So foam roll is probably the best thing you can do throughout the week.
Okay, so after the workout, I should do more. So I don't do that now. And I'm getting old now. I'm 41 now. So I should be doing more of that the foam roller. And they use that in the club. And it's not that difficult. So just bang the foam roller on your back. And
definitely. It's a little bit painful.
We just be talking heavy and technical stuff here. One last thing. Knees.
Yes.
Is your knees... How's your knees?
you know, that just comes from just training and strengthening your body. Definitely.
I've picked up a meniscus injury. Have you ever picked up anything like meniscus or ACL, MCL, anything like that?
No, nothing like that. And it's just because when I do go like for checkups and, you know, with physio and things like that, again, it's because of it's strengthening, stretching, flexibility, strengthening, stretching, flexibility. Yeah.
And working on those things.
Not like for years, you know, over time doing that. And then obviously making sure that your body gets what it needs, you know, before and after as well.
Yeah, okay. I need to focus more on that type of thing. What you're saying is 100% makes sense, because when you don't stretch and you stiff and stuff like that, like I've had a meniscus injury, and it's not a full tear, small tear. So I've been out of jiu-jitsu for like 2 months or so.
Okay.
But now I'm going back, and I feel alright. I haven't gone back yet. I want to go back. I must first go back to Barry. You know Barry? No. Barry Bay, he's a b-boy, and he's
sounds so familiar.
Yeah, Barry Bay. Was it Barry Bergman? Berg. How do you pronounce his surname? Bergman.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
he's in Turkey there.
Okay.
Yeah, I go to him. Yeah, he's awesome.
Okay.
He's a b-boy. So what makes him a super awesome physio is he's a b-boy, and his wife and his daughter does jiu-jitsu. Okay. So they understand, like...
So they know, okay, cool.
When I came to with a meniscus injury, he already had been, he's aware of it, so he's just working on it for a while. So I need to get back there into that. But what you're talking about makes a lot of sense, like stretching before, after, always do those type of things, especially when you're getting older. Tell me, you went to... at FISE
World Series, yes.
Yeah, Barry Burb.
Yes, I know.
You know him?
I know who he is, yes. Definitely.
Yeah, he's my physio, yeah.
Wow, just please tell him aside.
I will do.
And the DJ as well.
Oh, you must know his friend Ken. Ken is who does dinges.
Ken...
Then makes the skateboards.
Ken Langeveld.
Yeah.
Yes, no, of course, I saw him like 2 days ago. I know Ken for years.
So Ken also does jiu-jitsu.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ken got his blue belt recently, so he's I would also like to. We were almost gonna roll in a comp against each other, but then he never. So he rolled the other one, I rolled the other one, and I want to do like just as like a respect, like out of being, you know, a fellow martial artist, and you know, he is a like a dope skateboard artist as well.
Definitely,
so I just wanted to have the ultimate respect of tapping him. I'm joking. He'll probably tap me, but
I'll come watch. I can't miss
you're gonna
that.
come watch the showdown.
I can't miss that match.
The ultimate showdown. So tell me about China, man. How was the experience of when you won gold there? Like
it was, you know, it was amazing. You know, there was in one word, it was amazing experience. To have been there, to have had that opportunity, to have competed with the skateboarders and everybody in that contest, it was from start to end a weekend I'll never forget. And obviously, winning was the plus for sure. That was something, you know, that's what we all out there to do that. But it was at that time in my life was, you know, not a lot of people know about what was going on. Before I went to that contest. So, you know, winning it meant so much more than just...
Did you have to qualify for the contest?
Yes. So, there was a video qualification.
Okay.
And then I got through with that. And then on the day, you still have to, even though you've got through, you still have to compete through qualies and then semis and then finals with everybody else. So I went there, and then on first day we do qualifications. You get like 2 days practice or something, and then qualifications, and then from there you go. I think it went to semis, and then went to straight to finals after that. So semis and finals were on the same day.
Sure.
So qualification came, and I qualified first. And although that just gets you into semis, it was something that it made me realize, you know, wait a minute, you know, this is different. I've never been able to do that.
So you qualified out of all the 24 other, how many people were there?
In that contest, there was at least I would say 30.
Okay, but you in the qualification knockout people say that. So out of the 30 people, you placed number 1.
Yes, qualified first. And then at the top 12, if I'm not mistaken, go through to semi-final, and then you get the top, I think they did like top 6 into final, like that, something like that. And then came through first, and I thought, wow, that means a lot to me, to have done that. For me, that was, already something that I couldn't believe happened. And then came to semifinals. I think I came in like 4th place or something, so the score was a little bit different. And then, although it was in that placement,
why do you say the scores were a bit different?
Because you have to compete again to get into finals. So you go to semis, and then you have to.
So you would never place number 1.
So it wasn't number 1 now. Then it was number 4, because I think like everybody steps it up.
Yeah.
They
pull things out. They out of the bag. They never show people.
It's always like that. And then came through to semis, and then everybody stepped it up, and then I also tried to step it up, and then came finals. And that's the clip that's on YouTube right now. So came finals. Actually, the last final run, I did not practice. I changed everything in the last final run that made me win the contest.
Improv.
And you know why? The reason I changed everything was because of what I was feeling on the day. The way skateboarding was making me feel on the day.
How was it making you feel?
Like it was the first day I picked the board up. And it made me feel that day, because I've gotten this far in the contest, I've never gotten this far, and that feeling of, just making that what you thought wasn't possible is now possible. And there was almost this weight lifted off of me as a person in the finals. And then I dropped in and just, did what I felt was feeling right, and that was enjoy myself, enjoy skateboarding, enjoy what you're doing right now, every grind you're going to do, every slide, everything, embrace every moment, and just, let it flow. Obviously with a certain degree of focus, but the tricks would change. There were things I'd never practiced, I didn't in that final run. But leading up to that contest was, I think that's the reason I was, fighting that hard, was because of things that were happening in my personal life leading up to that contest. So basically, just before the contest, my grandmother, we were staying with my grandmother in Athlone, and before the contest that year, she was diagnosed with cancer, and she knew she helped my parents, with their sport. She helped me.
Yeah.
And, she supported me, because even though she knew I was struggling, she just always knew, okay, just believe, just keep going. So she helped me do that when she saw I was into skateboarding. She just supported it. So, as she did for my parents. So when I told her I got this opportunity to go, she obviously said, no, you have to go. But obviously I didn't want to now, because things were different. Life is different now. What if I go and, she's gone while I'm gone or something, all these things you start to think of. So I actually wasn't going to go to the contest. And then we had a long talk, like 2 days talking about this. And she obviously insisted, you need to go to this competition. This is like a dream. And I said, okay, I'll go. You asking me to go, you want me to go, I'll go. Right before that, she passes away.
Before the competition.
And then I thought to myself, okay, there's a choice now. And in my mind, there is no other choice other than going to that contest. She believed in it more than I did.
Yeah.
And I went to the contest, and came qualification day, and I wasn't really talking much. Came semi-final, wasn't really talking much, and came finals. Then that happened, and when I think back, I was holding the medal. I remember running back to the room where I was staying, and just thinking, is this real? Is this actually happening? And I just thought to all I could think of was, all that times where she was telling me to believe in this.
Yeah.
I believed it wasn't going to happen. And then that was the moment that I believed that, there's nothing that is impossible, really. This is the moment, because I was literally told how to do it.
Bruh, sometimes I think we live in a simulation. There's moments like that, man, it was like, you've ever heard that apparently we live in a simulation?
Definitely.
But it's like moments like that is like,
Definitely.
and it's almost like I'm hearing it more and more of these moments of like, I don't know, unbelievableness. Like,
no, it was unbelievable.
Is it her? Is it,
Definitely.
what is it like? What was it? Did it cause something inside you? What do you attest it to?
I think it just, what I can tell you what I was feeling, I think it just broke down the last wall that was built, the last, wall of, not having any confidence, not believing anything like of that. Because now, for example, that support structure is gone. And now you're left with you. And what you're told and what other people believe you can be. So it's just you now, nothing else. And if you build up the wall, if I was building up the wall by myself, it's that's on me now. It's if I'm gonna tell myself today I don't believe in myself, that's on me now. I'm in finals. It's just me. I can't call my grandmother now, that's gone now. It's just you. So that last thing was just broken down, and I really had to, I would say, become what people believed I could become.
This is called the JoeZONE. It's like, I believe that people go into a zone, into I don't know, they call it like the special, I believe athletes, musicians, a number of people, they go into this state of comedians when they're killing on stage. It's like this zone. I don't know what it's called. But you seem like you were in the zone.
And I'll never forget the moment. I'll never forget how to get into the zone because it was so...
Do you know how to get in there?
Yes. Every time, yes, definitely.
Is it a place you can put yourself like mentally like?
I think it's like it's a definite mental state where you don't hear anything, you don't see anything,
it's just super focused.
That's what I can feel.
Everything else is just blur.
It's a complete blur. And the only other time I felt it other than that day was when I was 11 years old at that contest. That's the only other time I felt it. The two distinct times where it was the first time. Now I can go there because instead of it, I would say, controlling me, and I don't know what this is, I don't know how to think, I don't know how to act, I don't know what to do. Instead of that, now I'm learning about it, learning about it in myself, knowing what it is, and knowing when to be there, when to get in that state of mind and things like that. So instead of it me not knowing, I forgot my run when I was 11. I don't know what I was doing. I don't know what I was doing at the contest at FISE. Now I know what to do every time, and not just in skateboarding, but there's other times where you need to go there as well, when it's in studies, things like that, when you really need to get there.
Can you achieve that through in other places like studies as well?
Definitely. There was, I would say excelling more now academically than I was in school, definitely. And now, obviously completed in my qualification in sports management, and now I'm studying BCom in marketing management. And I'm excelling more now in that in academics than ever.
I struggle with that. I struggle to be super focused academically. Like there is levels that I can get myself to because obviously I have a job. I'm a graphic designer, and the more I progress in my career, the more I'm gonna need to be academically strong, so that I can need to. So you go through levels of being a graphic designer. You start off a junior graphic designer, then you leave to a midweight, then you come to a senior graphic designer, then you become an art director, then you become a creative director. So I'm in between an art director now, and the transition that I need to make into becoming an art director is you need to be super academic as well. It's also part of the like administrative as well. You know what I mean? That side of the job needs to become. You need to become so good at it, like tracking budgets and all those type of things.
Right.
But I struggle to, so I can focus in my art, but when it's shifting it to that administrative study type of role, I find I struggle.
Yes. So
how do you shift it?
And I'll come back to skateboarding with this because I basically apply the same thing. So in skateboarding, when you learning a new combination of tricks, a flip in and a flip out and a slide and anything like that,
creating a new pathway,
complex stuff, you know, very, very complex stuff, especially if you've never done it before, you know. How do you learn it right now in 10 minutes? Something that you just imagined it. The one thing that I do is I know what the goal is. The goal is to do this combination, right? That's what I have control of. I can name what the combination is. I can say it. I can think it. I can hear it. I can see it in my mind. The one thing I don't have control over is the process that I'm going to go through to get there. So the other thing I can do is allow myself to be part of that process, whatever it is, from the time I say what it's going to be to the time I actually complete it. So it's going to be easy. Okay, I said it. You know, trick name. I start flipping in. Now I have to slide. Now it's going to get difficult. Then I'm going to slide. I'm going to land 1 or 2 sketchy ones here or there. Now 3 of them I'm going to get away with. Out of 50 of them I'm going to try. But I keep going because it's the process. So eventually the 3 that you landed turns to 5. The 5 turns to 10. The 10 turns to 20 times, and eventually you can do this 50 times over, not just this trick, but tomorrow you're gonna name a new trick. You're gonna do the exact same process, nothing different. You're just gonna allow yourself to be part of the process.
It's a fucked thought process, I must say, but and even the way you broke it down, it's quite it's quite simple and fundamental. But I mean, if you can get it right,
but the important
it's a skeleton key to something good.
Definitely, the important part of it is to not kind of be your own and this is through trial and error. In that time when I'm doing something like that, when things are complex, I became almost my own mental block, because when it got difficult, I thought that was the end. You know, that I didn't start something to, not see the end of it, to essentially fail. You know, I have to fail in order to get it right. To see how not to do it, to see other ways how to do it, or maybe through the way that it failed, basically stems another combination of tricks. So
and you can come up with a new,
and you come up with a new thing. You go, okay, we're gonna park that one, but this is the process I've taken into academics. When projects are really big, things like that. When things come to me, I know for sure I don't know how to do this right now. But the next 10 minutes, I'm going to sit with it. The next 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I'm going to start, sort of, unwrapping this whole thing. And eventually, by the end of the day, 24 hours is a long time.
You got so many fingers in so many pots. Do you also have a foundation or something like that?
Yes, Fill the Gap.
Tell me about Fill the Gap Foundation.
Yes, so Fill the Gap is just basically, filling the gap, from having not much to having something. So it's not just, in gear, but it's also motivational talks. It's things like that. So I've been visiting a lot of schools this year. And obviously skate parks in, different areas as well. Certain events. We were actually in Balha about a couple of weeks ago, doing an event out there. Just
How's it working with the kids like?
it's amazing. It's amazing. Sure, so much talent. Really so much talent. And it was nice to see it. I don't get to go out that way all the time. So having a session with everyone out there was really something special. And I hope we can have another session again sometime soon.
I know you were a super role model. Like, part about of us having this podcast is about bringing people on like us and look like us and stuff like that, because there's a lot of negativity going on in the areas or some of the areas around us and stuff like that. And we just want to be the counterpunch to that. And it's good that we here to showcase people like you, Mark Lotrin, Alfred Adrian, Reddy D, all these positive people, just to showcase the people out there, like, this is the role models, man. This is what you can actually do, and I'm glad that you're working out there, obviously in the community and doing your part. Like, you seem very involved in wanting to give back.
Yes,
which I like.
It's like, for me, when I was growing up skateboarding, I was alone for a long time. Although I had like mentors and people I met much later on, but I had to tell myself things. That was the hard part. I had to believe in myself when nobody was watching, when nobody was around, and it's not easy to tell yourself something one day and tell yourself the same thing 7 days a week straight. It's not easy, just so you can
to keep yourself motivated,
to keep yourself there. And also, when you have an idea or something and you're the only one that believes this idea, it's difficult to keep telling yourself this is going to work. This is something that I want to do. This can actually be real. And I thought to myself, if there's ever a way that I can, in some way or other, be in a position where I can, speak to kids or to anyone, even on a one-on-one level, and tell them, look, whatever your idea is, if someone told you it's a crazy idea, I'm telling you it's not a crazy idea. It's okay, and you will achieve it. That kind of thing. Because I think of kids that were in school that I knew of that maybe weren't athletic or focusing on sport in any way, but they were so talented in other ways. Music, things like that. And we usually would gravitate towards each other, and they would just share their ideas with me. I'd share my dreams.
Creativity.
Yeah, and we would just be in a small group, just sharing crazy ideas.
Yeah, I love it. Like, I love creativity, bro.
I mean, one of my friends is actually really famous musician now, and I think he's playing in France. I actually messaged him.
Sure, crazy.
Now, and he used to skate a little bit back in the day, and we used to know each other. And I saw him playing with. I saw a list, the poster. I saw his name, and the rest of the names were like Radiohead.
Sure.
And I messaged him. I was like, "What?" That's crazy. Those dreams weren't crazy.
No, man, it's not crazy. I mean, if you reach for it, you can accomplish it. It's just. I don't know, there just seems to be a lot of hold-ups, like, and this is a dream for me, just to, like I told you earlier when you first came in here, like, when I did my first podcast in 2018, I said one day I'm going to interview Jean-Marc, and I even spoke to Ling Ling. She's a big fan of yours.
Okay.
I don't know, what's her name? Ling Shepherd. She's a massive fan of yours.
Okay.
She absolutely loves you, and like
thank you for having me on the show. Really appreciate this.
We spoke about you and just the colored excellence that you possess. You know what I mean? And meeting you, just dealing with you, like the professionalism that you also have. You came here and you super humble, like, just in how you are. I mean,
thanks, man.
Your grandmother is really, I'm sure she's really proud of the man you've become and what you're doing. Especially,
Thank you.
buddy, we need role models like you. Like, we need more people like you.
Thanks.
It's important. It's a necessity for every for every bad guy, whatever negative is going on, there must be 5 jean-marc. You know what I mean? To counter
Yes,
whatever else
yes.
is going on around there.
No, thank you.
You went to Europe as well.
Yes, I did.
When was that? Like a month ago? 2 months ago?
Yeah.
So tell me about that journey.
So it was, another global contest, and
Yeah.
I saw the event on one of my favorite skateboarders actually posted about it, and I just thought, initially I thought, wow, that's huge. I've been watching this guy for years, and I saw it was a global contest. You could actually enter globally, but what that means is it's, you have to send in a video qualification with the rest of the world, whoever else decides to send in, and then get selected to go into the next round. So I sent a video in, just of me skating in the park, practicing and things like that. Sent it in, get the notification, I'm in the top 24.
Shoo.
And I thought, okay, awesome. I saw the list come out, and I saw the names. It was Netherlands, it was, Argentina. It was, guys, I know these guys are unbelievably good. And then I thought, okay, let me see where this goes. They said, okay, you need to send in more another qualification video just to get to the next thing. And I said, okay, I'll make another video. Made another video, got into top 12. They then said the top 6 gets the all expenses paid, and I saw my name in the top 3, and I thought, wow, okay, we're gonna go to this contest. Went to the contest, and I didn't know anyone at all, but obviously, through skating you get to know each other, and it's all good after that. But
where was it in Europe?
So it was a place called the contest was called a Cardo. So basically it's it started from, where was it? It started from the Global International, then it went to, it's actually a mobile skate park. They have a mobile, so it was actually,
it's not gonna float in shit.
No. So basically it's like so you know how we have our concrete skate parks and things that, and this they actually set up for the contest.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was actually quite nice because it has a.
So where was the first stop?
I think the first I tried to follow the series as much as I could, but I think it was Argentina, if I'm not mistaken.
But when did you join them?
I only heard about it this year.
Okay.
Well, I knew about it, but I didn't know they had the global open. I thought it was just, like you get selected or whatever. So this is, I just thought to me, take a chance, and see what happens.
So where was the...
get this place's name.
In Europe, Luxembourg.
Sorry. Okay. Basically it was a mobile park, like move around park.
Yeah.
You could they had the setup. It was a mix, a little bit of street and park, which was actually really cool. I actually enjoy park setups like that.
So it's a bit of street and a bit of park.
So it's like sometimes you get to skate parks where it's full concrete.
Okay.
And that's fine. I mean, that's awesome because, we skate on concrete all the time. Mm-hmm. But this had like the element of, some of the ramps it was wood, and then the ground was tar. So it had a little bit of...
a bit of like a park.
It was
like
really nice element.
A mixed of...
Yes, really good elements in the thing. So, in this contest, I felt I was really doing well in the qualifications. And then I saw the scoreboard, and my name was in the top 4 for the finals. And I thought, sure, I think I can maybe make the podium. These guys are unbelievably good. But if I just do this in the finals, most likely if I can just keep up and just handle the pressure, I think, more than anything, of being good in your semis and then being like that exact same, just trying to keep that same mental focus in finals as well. And thankfully I did that. There was on my last trick, I just closed my face because it was my last attempt, and I didn't do this trick throughout the entire day. And I thought, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna throw it all down in the finals.
So if you landed, you landed. If you fail, you fail.
It's it's the last one, and I just thought, let me get into the zone. And then I got into the zone, and I landed it over there was like this big grass cap, and I actually just rode away, and I thought, wow, even if I wasn't on the podium, that just to have done that for me personally is like that rewarding feeling in skateboarding.
Yeah.
You know, when you really try something and you
beat
actually
yourself.
yes, exactly. You actually landed it and you can just roll away, you know, with a smile. And it's like, again, that's the essence of skateboarding, you know, that's what it's about. And it happened in the last stretch of the contest. So, you know, came out with third place. And for me to have done that in front of, you know, my favorite skateboarders, things like that I can't even explain. You know, it's a dream. It's a dream to do that because I watch these guys on YouTube. You know, I've had this guy's videos, you know, saved to my phone in high school.
So you ranked in the world?
You get different world rankings. So you get like World Series rankings. You get so as the as the year goes by. So in Montpellier in France, towards the beginning of the year, I was there for the World Series and also made the podium out there. And that was with another guy. His name is Julian, unbelievably good skateboarder. He actually went on to win another contest called Simple Session, and it's like a legendary contest as well. So this was the first time that I got the podium in that World Series.
Yeah.
So it's also a FISE contest, but it's actually, I think it's their biggest one. Out of their series is the Montpellier, France, if I'm not mistaken.
So that's like the
apex,
final.
yeah, the apex part of, you know,
of everything leading up to that, like.
Because I mean, the crowd, it was undoubtedly.
What is the crowd like? How many people?
There were thousands of people. It was packed. It was, yeah, and the nice thing was, it was skateboarding,
anyway,
BMX, everything. It had everything you could think of, competitions, you know, and it was really nice to see not just skateboarding, but to watch, you know, seeing BMX and at that level, I definitely, I feel I chose the right thing. I don't see myself doing
that. From that, like.
Absolutely not. I mean, that's on a whole different level. Definitely. Much respect to everyone doing that.
Now I'm in there. But I mean, I can't do what you do. Like, I look at some of the flips and the things, and I'm like, yo, how does this bra even get that airborne and like,
yes,
yo, like, it's crazy. It's nuts. It's like you think it's far from you to get to. It's exactly what everybody else is looking at you thinking, hey, how is he doing that? Like, what is he doing? Like, how does his feet move so fast? Like, huh?
I believe that. No, definitely. I mean, yeah, I mean, when I see even vert skateboarders, you know, the park skateboarders, everyone that's doing that, it's insane. You know, it's the height that they get, the speed that they go.
I've seen you get quite high in some of the stuff.
But I think you should see park skateboarding. You should see
the ones that go like up like that, right? But you've gone like, which is even more scary for me. Okay, let's go.
That one, okay, that had a little bit of fear.
A little bit.
So this was an idea I had in high school.
You had an idea in high school,
and it was a crazy idea. We weren't going to go that big, actually. So basically, what it was going to be at the ground. I just wanted to, you know, skate 2 containers, and then what happened on the day was we lifted it up a couple of meters. And then I felt this feeling, and then I just said, let's just go to the highest. And we took it up like 3 stories. And the gap was like almost 4 meters. It was quite a gap.
What did you do with this with the Red Bull?
Yes. So basically they were part of the project. And then the photographer that shot that took this, Craig Koleski. We were shooting like quite some time throughout that year before that, and he kind of knew, like he knew when to get the shots. You know, he's amazing photographer as well. So I did it. I had to do it in like 2 tries because number one, you don't want the the actual idea to build up in your head of how high you are and what's going to happen when you fall. So they did ask if you want like protective gear, like this harness or something like that, and I actually didn't want that.
This is gonna probably cause more shit then.
there was that element, but I just thought, if I do that, I'm gonna give myself this option to fall, and I don't want to experience that. I didn't come here today to fall, and I thought I remember being in the back.
This is nuts.
I remember being in the back and looking at it and realizing after I just told them I don't want any type of help, anything, and just staring at it for a bit and just getting myself into the zone and just realizing that everything is off now. You know, it's all you. You made sure that this moment is all you. I did the ollie, but I had to actually just do it once or twice because the containers were swaying.
It was moving.
Because of the
Bruh, what are you talking? Why are you doing this?
I felt on the first one, because of the impact that and I felt
a moving container in the sky.
I could feel the thing do that a bit, and it was.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, and I thought, that's not good. We're gonna do it. Then I climbed back over, and then I did it once more, and it felt more, and I said, "Done, we're done." If I checked with Craig, he got the shot. He did it once, and I think he got the shot the first time, and then I did it again.
Just in case, like.
And then I actually, the first one, you know what happened? I actually didn't get it because I misjudged the runway before the gap, and I ran too much before the actual ollie. So my setup time to get back on the board and ollie was I didn't judge it properly. I had to get my feet in position and then jump. So what happened was misjudgment, and the trucks actually dipped off the edge of the container, but the speed I was going at
still carried
me. Yeah, and I thought that can't happen. So you
again. Didn't.
No, and that can't happen again.
So you just. Oh no!
But it's you kind of at that point you have to face.
But then you knew how to take. You need to take a better run up, basically.
Definitely, and I realized that I'm actually this is one of those things you're facing. You took off every kind of thing that could like possibly protect you now, and you're also facing actual fear head on. This is the word right now. And there's yes, you can go down, you can not do this at all, but I actually wanted to face it head on.
So you mastering yourself.
Like more than clocking it around, like challenging yourself. I wouldn't do that, bro. But anyway, so was the top of the stuff? What type of surface was it? Like
it was wood. Yeah, no, it was
wood. But you obviously knew it wasn't like a slippery. You had to know the substrate.
Yeah.
Or how long to take you.
So that's what I didn't. I misjudged was
how slippery it would be.
Slippery, and also that I would need to run with my board and put my get onto the board and then jump.
Yeah.
And that was
so the momentum that you would need to do.
The momentum. So I realized I need to be quicker. I need to be, a lot more focused than ever to do this right now. This is not just a normal, oiling a gap. This is playing with your mind. It's playing with everything. And yeah, I just had to kind of get into a different level there.
Yes, bro. Not only a skateboarding, you also flipping David Belania or Fear Factor. I don't know what else you do.
Yeah.
Who edits your videos that you do?
So the
videos that you send off normally, who edits it?
I edit everything. Yeah.
Awesome, man.
So so a lot of the times, and this is the nice thing with with the filmer that I work with, Lyle Manar, and when we're making videos, we have the same kind of look and feel. We know everything there is to know, like about skateboarding. we've watched everything you can think of, everything that comes out every single day. So we know already what kind of, if we're filming something, we already know this is that style of video. This is not a full length. This is just a clip. This is just that.
Did you watch Jackass back in the day?
Oh yes, loved it.
Didn't get over that. And then there's one more a question I want to ask you. Do you know Bong?
Wow. Yes, I do. He mentor of mine, and
Is he a mentor?
Well, he obviously, it's a bit sad of his, it's
Passing.
Yeah, it's
Rest in peace.
Yeah, that was tragic. I still to this day still look at messages. Yeah, and he's a mentor. And I can tell you, it's like,
Have you got the story about him?
just the first time meeting him, I think. First time meeting him. But when I saw him, I didn't know what to say. I was starstruck.
He's starstruck.
We were in a meeting about something completely different, and he was in the meeting, and I was there in the meeting, but I couldn't believe I was just sitting in the same room as Bong. That's all.
So yeah, we gotta get his name right. Errol
Strashen.
Strashen.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Errol Strashen. Yeah. Yeah. Rest in peace. Maybe I can tell you a story. So when I was a kid, like this is in the 90s, bruh. He was like, I mean, he was probably in his prime. Like, so in the 90s, I used to live in Retreat, right, by Sesame.
Okay.
Sesame Estate. We used to walk from there, right? Like, and then they used to say, "Yay, Bong is gonna be by the Grassy Park Library."
Yeah.
So we used to walk from Princess Valley, basically from Princess Valley, all the way up 4th Avenue. Yay, because we must be there, my bro. Bong is gonna be there by Civic Center. Then they not by Civic Center. Is it the Civic Center? Grassy Park Library, or is it Civic Center?
It's basically the same area.
It's next to each other, but Grassy Library Civic Center. There's like there's the rails and all that type of stuff. Then he's there, bruh. Him and his chummies, then they doing their tricks. Then everybody's just like lamming, like they're in Grassy Park. Like, is he from Grassy Park?
I think so, yeah.
From Lotus River or Grassy Park?
It is this area because Emil Jansen, he actually told me, like, you know, that like in the 90s also.
In the 90s,
I
yeah.
never met him. I just said, you know that?
Yeah.
And he told me it's like, whatever. I never met him, dude.
He used to do tricks like that. Was so we used to like walk like from like, and I mean there was millions of people. We used to walk from the street to Grassy Park. All the lights from Grassy Park used to stick it. People used to come from like come from Lotus or wherever. So but it just would be like at that time there was no like
that's amazing.
That time there was no message. Nobody was messaging each other
just
or
knew.
taking photos. It's just
This is the
my
time.
bro's gonna be there. You must be there, like, and sometimes you come there and you wait and he's not there, like, he's sick along somewhere with his person. But you wait, he's gonna come, bruh. He's gonna come, but then he never comes.
Sure.
Anyway, it's a crazy story, like.
That's crazy. There was the time that I met him, I knew who he was, but the one thing not a lot of people know was at where I was staying, with my parents. In the house, there's old pictures and things like that. And this was before I found the skateboard. There's like newspaper stuff from whenever, they keep things like this. And I would just go through things like this I would find in the house, books and whatever. There was a picture. I didn't know who it was. It was a newspaper thing. Maybe one of my uncles kept it or whatever. Of a guy doing a handstand. He had like dreads. This picture,
dreads, cowboys,
yes,
like a manga, like going on the board, like then you stick out like.
This picture was in my household. I didn't know what this was. I didn't know who he was or anything. And then I found this when I found the board, and then I remember, wasn't there a picture? Somewhere I saw a picture of someone on a skateboard, and I saw this, and I'm like, oh, there was this picture in the newspaper article or something like that. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a new, so
It was bong.
it was a full handstand. That's how I can remember. It was a full handstand, and
Check it that, man. He like made it big. Where was he from, man? He's from the southern suburbs, bro. I'm convinced he's from the southern
not
suburbs.
Muizenberg.
I don't know where, but I know that's why I say like, yo, we must find out that information. Where was he? Like, nobody.
So it's,
there's so many
crazy.
stories
It's
like this. Like,
this was in my family history, you know, somewhere or other. This, you know, what he has done, you know, how much he has impacted, and he doesn't know that it was already, you know, the impact was already in my life before I even found a board, you know. So when I met him, I told him the story. Yeah, and and he actually, you know, before we met, he actually shared something on mine on social media, video of mine, and like just saying like, you need to watch this. And I thought this cannot be the same person. It's not possible. This is not happening. And I checked with like someone. I said, "Is this who I think it is? That's him." Like, no.
yeah, he's a legend, bro. But I don't think everybody knows the story of him. Like I say, like I didn't even know he was in magazines. I didn't even know he was in magazines. I mean, we were talking about the early 90s,
man.
Before 97,
Sure.
96, like that time. Must have been, we were,
Sure.
anyway, crazy. He's no longer with us, but yeah, he's your predecessor.
Sure, man. I wish he was here, you know, just
The greatest South African skateboard before Jean-marc.
I wish he was here, you know, like just to talk, you know, just talk about skateboarding and call him or whatever, and just even that is just to say that I could have actually spoken to him and to have met him is honor, really an honor.
Nah, that's cool, man. Yeah,
Really.
really.
And there's many skaters like him, you know, that I can think of that really to this day, like it's still, when I meet them, it's still like, I'm actually greeting this person right now. There's skaters like Amin Gray, Wandile Zulu, Donovan Wintonburn, Craig Pike, there's all these skateboarders, Alamarola, Christy Vian, you know, William Twala, all these guys that have made the benchmark, you know, like Bong. Yeah, I don't know where skateboarding would be without any of them. So
yeah, I don't know how competitive Bong was, but like there was just the legend of him, you know what
yeah,
I mean?
Definitely.
So that's how we understood it, and yeah, he's like one of the first to have done it and stuff like that. I noticed that you got like a lot of famous friends. You you drop in a lot of names like and stuff like that, and it seems to be a lot of people with a lot of good energy that you afforded to attract your around you, like.
Yes.
Is it how is it like just doing that type of thing? Because I mean, you mentioned Reddy D earlier.
Yes.
Stuff like that. Meeting all your heroes. Like.
Definitely. You know, it's again, you know, there's this energy about it. You know, not just in South Africa when you meet them.
Internationally as well.
Internationally, you know, we had did this campaign a couple of years ago. And what I remember a lot from the campaign was the conversations we had when we weren't working, you know, when we weren't doing the campaign. What I learned from these individuals and people like that, we did a campaign. It was myself, Questa,
yeah,
and David Goliath. I would spend a lot of time with
David Goliath is an awesome guy.
Yes, awesome guy, definitely. And we'd spend time and we'd talk and learn so much, and we'd be able to, you know, kind of be on the same level and talk about things on the same level when it comes to goals and achieving things and how and just progressing in life.
Yeah,
you know, and it's not just athletes, you know, and skateboarders, but you know, soccer players,
comedians. Donovan Goliath's a comedian.
You know, comedians, and obviously D. You know, obviously legend as well. And I mean, he's seen everything, you know, also in skateboarding, because obviously he would play at the Alex Grohl Cup. This was the competition in Boogaloo's back in Canal Walk, and this is where I saw him for the first time, and absolute legend. So just to be able to talk to these people, it's really something that I really am honored to do on a daily basis. When I ever get the opportunity to meet them, there's always just a quick conversation or something, and it's always, I just listen. There's so much knowledge that they have, so much experience that they have to give, that I just listen, definitely.
You're a super humble guy. And it goes both ways. Just to listen to your conversation and how you conduct yourself is also an enrichment to a conversation. Like, you know what I mean? This platform, or what we're trying to grow here, is very much of that, with what you're saying, is to give people insight into that type of conversations that we have. How do you make, we all got goals. Like, I've got the goal for my family, you've got a goal for your family and yourself and stuff like that. And we want to achieve these goals. And what do we do, or how do we go about achieving these things? And not only achieving that, but also showing being a good influence to everybody, to other kids out there.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Look here, guys, this is the prototype. This is the way to go. Upskill yourself and not go the other way that can take you down a wrong route. Like, I always mention this. I've mentioned this on more than one of my shows already. One of my best friends growing up as a 28 gangster now. Sure. He's living that life. You know what I mean? Sure. And that's only one of my friends. You know what I mean? I've got 28 other friends, or you know what I mean, a whole lot of other friends that has gone positive route.
Yes.
But out of how many of us is there just one that went wrong? You know what I mean? Out of your group, there's one brother went wrong. My group, there's one brother. With that group, there should be groups of us where everybody went right. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And that is what we're trying to achieve.
Exactly.
Not where one fell off. Because in other neighborhoods where things are even worse, the majority of those are falling off, and there's only one making it out.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
We need to change that averages up. Like, we need to get people moving into positive spaces, finding their skateboard.
Definitely.
Maybe it's not a skateboard. Maybe it's some other something else that will make them reach a better place. If it's an instrument,
yes.
If it's a microphone,
definitely.
You know what I mean? Turntable.
Yes,
Mic,
there we go.
Whatever it is, like, but we just encourage you to do that. You said something super interesting, like earlier. You said it's the platform. When you find your platform, then you can like excel in that. And that's going to make you better. It's like, and I was thinking to myself, I think, what is my platform? I think I finally find my platform in doing this, and maybe that's why now I feel, so much better. You can, I don't know, once you find your thing, you just seem to click better, no?
Yes, no, I agree. And it's like, when you find it, and sometimes you don't find it, it finds you. Definitely. And you won't even know, where you're going on this journey, but you're riding the wave, and you're okay with it. You're okay with every single day doing it, and because it just makes you feel the way you always, what you were looking for. And I think, when you find that platform, I feel it's not just that thing you will excel in. Anything you choose after that, you're going to excel in, because it's brought out, everything. In my opinion, what I feel is like that. I wasn't sitting with a dictionary of skate tricks in my head before I found the board. It just brought out me as a person. It brought out the way I think. It brought out my ambition, my determination, everything like that.
Brought out the best in you.
Exactly. And that just didn't end at skateboarding, When I started to realize that this is who I am as a person, on and off the board, I was like that in anything else I did, When there was an idea or something, or anything else in life, I was
use that confidence from the board is almost like to use in other places
Exactly.
in your life, I feel.
And I wasn't trying to apply it. It just was like that after I allowed myself to be, to let down everything, and be who I'm supposed to be. Or when I did that, wow, man, everything else was different after that. There was nothing that I saw as failure or as something that I can't do this or whatever. Look, things were tough, there were tough times, definitely, but I always saw it as an opportunity after that. Whenever I get knocked down in some way or other, be it verbally, be it in school, be it whatever, I saw it as an opportunity to be stronger the next time it happens, and that all came from me finding a platform to kind of practice it.
Awesome, man. This is one last thing I just want to say about that. It's like, I think you're lucky to have found your platform at 10 or 11 years old. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people don't find their platform till later in life. But I don't think, I'm 40. Now I've found my platform maybe 4 or 5 years ago. But I don't think you must give up. Never give up searching for for your thing. Like, Nantel's a little bit older than me, but he's gone through a whole lot of other things, and now he's finally running his own podcast. What do you call this? Podcast network.
That's amazing.
And it's like, you know what I mean? You had to go through all of the other shit at working for government radio stations, but now he's reached that. And I think it's a story in all of us, man. Sometimes you might not eat it young. Maybe some people get it at 5 years old.
Yes.
Maybe some people get it at 11 years old.
Exactly.
Maybe you find it at 20, even 40, 50, who cares? But don't stop pursuing that. Don't stop looking for it.
Exactly.
Don't stop looking for it, because once you find that thing, you can use that and cover a lot of other.
Definitely. And that's something I've also, one thing I can speak about now that I didn't understand when I was younger. I used to look at TV. I used to look at this Guinness Book of Records, things like this, things that looked impossible.
Yeah.
And I always used to ask myself, how? How do you not do what he's doing, but how do you do something impossible? How did he do that? And he has proof that he did it. He has a book like this thick of everyone else doing, and how are they doing that? And then when I got gold at the FISE World Series, and I held it, and I thought to myself, okay, it wasn't about, for me personally, it wasn't about the medal, was it? It was about learning that lesson of how. And then I thought to myself, well, can't I just recreate everything I just went through? What I just put myself through, mentally, physically, everything. Can't I just do that every time I find something impossible?
Difficult.
Find
is I've heard about this.
What if
put yourself in a difficult situation all the time, making yourself the student.
Yes.
So go back to being a white belt all the time. So if you excel at one thing, do something totally different that you are not good at. I've heard this concept before as well, yeah.
And I thought, and it hit me like a ton of bricks, because it was like something I've asked myself for, and I think all my friends, everything, when we would watch skate videos, things like that, we'd just ask how do you do this? And we don't have an answer. Because I don't think there was there was one set answer as to, okay, that's how you do it, and that's it. It's your process of how you're gonna do it. It's everybody was different, and how I was gonna get there was maybe different to how someone else was gonna get there. But I had to allow myself and make sure that I do whatever it takes in my journey to get there. And it's
often the journey, not the reward, they say.
It always is. I mean, there's some people I speak to, and they'll speak about, I just want to get here. And then, then I'm like, and then?
But once you get there, then you're going to be bored. You're going to be like, nah, I'm bored now. What gonna do?
Yeah. And I just thought, just definitely, get there, but mark that off and then continue. And then somebody actually asked me, and then where do I go? I said,
I actually shared
who knows?
I shared a TikTok thing in the week about Adam Shaw, what's that comedian? Anyway, he says dream big, man.
Yeah.
Says,
I know
so
you.
he says that a lot of comics says, I just want to make a living, and it says that is just exactly what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
You know, make a
Dream
living.
big. Tell the universe, I want to flip and achieve. I want to be a media mogul through podcasting.
Yeah.
It seems unattainable, but the fuck it, I'm gonna go for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I agree. If I think about it now, the first time I picked up a Guinness Book of Records was in primary school. It was like I said earlier, it was a difficult time.
Yeah.
And I was looking at all this end results of things that were achieved that seemed impossible, And although I was looking at it, it was like a seed was planted in a way, where I started to ask myself this question as to how.
What do you have in the Guinness Book of Records?
So I recently broke 2 more records for skateboarding.
So what the?
So the one was the most 360s in 30 seconds, and the other one was the most consecutive ollies. But the difference was this time it was the first time it was inducted into the history book for 2024.
Okay.
Into the actual book. And now I thought about it, and now I open up this book again after the first time I opened it up, asking myself this question. I can't tomorrow wake up and tell myself that I can't do something now. I can't do that, because now there's a book of me answering the question to myself. And it didn't have to be a book. It could have been something small. Me answering the question to myself, landing a trick that I thought was impossible one day and the next day it wasn't. And I think back at it now, I'm going to take one of these books back to my old primary school library and put it back. And so the journey starts again.
Crazy, but this time was a lot different.
So
because then this time there's a representation, brother. Representation is important.
Yes, definitely. No, I thought about it, and I thought, if another kid my age who picks up the book and reads the story of the same kid that picked up this book, not knowing how you're ever going to get here, and now reading the story that you actually did in the exact same chair in the exact same place. I don't think I can.
There's like moments that you remind me of, like, Conor McGregor. You must know who Conor McGregor is.
Yes.
It's like moments that you remind me of, like, almost like you spoke about visualization earlier, about seeing a goal and then getting to it. You spoke about like these moments of like almost like absolute greatness. I remember when Conor McGregor knocked out Jose Aldo in 14 seconds. It was like an absolute moment of greatness, and everything like slowed down. It's like I don't know. It's just like things that I know he's got a bad side to him, and you have not. But just these positive ways that you see the world and visualize things that make me think like, this is a super inspirational person. And I like the positivity in the way you think, and how you engage concepts is very easy, very
thank you,
very unique and good, man. And
thank you. Likewise,
it comes from a good space. So your parents and whoever instilled this things in you did a good job, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
In the Guinness Book of Records, huh? You know how important is that? You know how important is that I wonder how much kids that come from where we come from know something like that. There's a bra in the Guinness Book because like Like that's what Conor McGregor also said. He said there was nobody, there was no island UFC champion. It was never ever done. But now he done it. Now the floodgates have opened. Now there's the champions.
Now there's a belief, level of belief, or there's this, and that's what I see a lot. Before there was just, oh, it's not for us. It was just that. We will watch it here, but that's as far as it goes. And it only takes a few to just get up and go, I'm tired of watching, and I'm gonna start today, and I actually want to be there. Maybe not tomorrow, but maybe not next year, but one day you're gonna see it, one day, and it takes a few, and then everybody else gets up and does the same thing in a different way. Maybe not skateboarding, but in a different way. So now, again, coming back to the book, in my journey right now, I can get up and say, I can't face the next day telling myself something's impossible, and I'm not doing this whole journey any justice by not taking that back, that whole thing, putting it back where it started, for somebody else to go sit in the same chair, in the same library, and take out that same book that wasn't written before. It wasn't written like that before. Now it's different. There's a different story inside there now.
Yeah, you rewrote the book, yeah.
So in just kind of just
rewrote it, but
rewriting
you put your story in that book.
Yeah, and just changing,
including in that.
Yeah. So that's the way I see it, and that's the way I kind of want to give back in that way.
I absolutely love it, bruh. I absolutely love it. Like, yeah, I can't.
I feel I feel like a lot of people, a lot of people with talents, and things like that, should, in their best efforts, of course, try to do that. Maybe someone that was already skateboarding just needed to read that.
Yeah. Crazy thing is that nowadays kids don't read books. They watch podcasts.
Yes. so and now they'll know that the book is.
And we live in our mark this way.
Yes.
I think with podcasts, like, so we've recorded, like I've mentioned to you all the people that we've recorded with us here, and it's like, it's been phenomenal. Like,
yes,
just meeting and sharing these conversations, doing this, like, and bruh, I'm telling you, and the more I do this, the more people I meet like you, the more I believe that we are on the right path.
Definitely.
Like, I know there's a lot of negativity going on there, and there's actually somebody that I'm wanting to. There's a concept. This guy is called Steven Pinker, right? He wrote this book. I haven't read the book yet, but I want to get into it. So this concept is where he believes that we are living in the best time possible. So there's always this think or this concept that things are getting worse. There's more violence, etc., etc. But in actual fact, it's not so. This time, there's the least violence. There's he goes through a whole list of things. I don't know how true his things is, but I mean, if you look at, you don't want to be living in the Roman days because there's no washing taps and stuff like that. People were dying from that. Nowadays, we got dentists. Even if we look within our own country, you don't want to. I could never buy a house where I bought a house now, like, or if I was living 40 years ago or 50 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a whole different ball game. So, I don't know. I believe if we constantly try to do better,
yes,
we will do better
Definitely.
for our kids. Like,
definitely. And I feel the same. It's, and with the podcast as well, it's like it's the platform you were saying.
Yeah.
And it's how we impact the world in our way, and obviously throughout the journey, definitely. And I believe wholeheartedly, definitely, we're going to do this.
If you believe it, I know it's sorted. Whatever he believes happens. Like you like got the magic pen. Like
I would, I think it's important just because we do it we come from from the right place for what's right, for for what's for the better tomorrow, for everything like that, to help others, and through that, that's how we will go forward. I don't think we should change anything, because if like I said, there's always the option, there's always there's choices, and the way we push it is got us to this day, and for us to be talking right now. And it's only going to go up from here, definitely.
Ryan, did you notice that some people come in at the right time? I don't think if he had been one of your first guests, I don't think it would have had the same energy as what this podcast is now. Because I don't know, man. It just, for me, sometimes when I have a conversation, it just like, what's this guy here? Like, what? Does he know that things that's happening in my life, man? And I needed what he's saying now. You know what I'm saying? And it makes sense to what I was thinking. I need to think more like that. And now I get this. You know what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying. Just things that he's and I touched on it earlier. It's like the way in which he's putting concepts together, and the way he's like, it's almost like it, but not really, because. Yeah,
I think it's different when it comes from somebody that has achieved it, man.
There we go.
Because I can tell you, now, dude, I can build this house.
Yeah.
All you do is the brick, one on top of each other. Until a bricklayer tells you, dude, this is how you do it, man. Wake up early in the morning. So it has more gravitas, you know what I'm saying?
It does have more gravitas. You're right. You're 100% right. It's spot on. But it's just like the way that you put the concepts together in which you're going to achieve a goal. I think that is awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
If anybody can take anything from it, I'll learn. I'm probably going to listen to this podcast again tomorrow, because I must take it in a few times. But anyway, and that's the cool thing about podcasts. You can watch them over and over again. It's not just once off on the TV. Like, remember when you used to watch soap operas or back in the day?
And just
you can't go back.
And whoever's listening, that's why it's better for advertisers as well, for products.
Right.
Because your name will be on the product forever. So rather put your money in podcasting.
Then later. He's trying to sell anytime.
Sponsor us, bitches.
Jean-Marc, it's been lovely. It's been awesome chatting to you, man. You are flipping. Very inspirational, and I can't wait to chat to you again in the next two years or whenever.
Can we just acknowledge the viewers?
Yeah, Nestle, thanks for watching. Leslie's a big fan of yours, another fan of yours.
Okay. Hello, Nestle.
She's another one here.
Oh, Pang. Oh, how's Pang doing? Pang Kid. I don't know if that's a real person. Is Pang Kid a real person?
Lee, October evening, he needs to write a book,
Shout
please.
out to Ryan Bell.
Shout out to Ryan Bell.
Yes, how's it going, Ryan?
Man.
I've heard that one before. I will look into it. But for now, there's a full documentary coming out. It's called The Kid from Athlone.
Liquor.
Yes, and there'll be something after that as well. But so we've been working.
Is it on Netflix? When's it gonna be
we've been working. We've been working.
Why, man? A Kid from Athlone. We're going to be here about it soon.
I'll send you everything, all the links and all
Okay,
of
now
that.
we have another podcast.
So we got another podcast coming up. So now
we advertise it.
we always welcome our guests back, and we covered a lot today, but we can still cover a whole lot of other stuff, you and I.
Perfect.
But sure, brah. Awesome podcast. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Keep doing dope things, man. And
Thanks, man.
Spread your wings. If you must go do things somewhere else because of whatever, do it, brah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and for your inspiration as well. Really, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yo, thank you for your time. I don't know if I'm much inspirational, but yeah, shot, guys.
Thank you.
Please like, share, subscribe to everybody watching. Peace. We out.